Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys my second trimester recap. So I have actually just entered into my third trimester, so it is now time to just kind of share with you guys just an overview of my second trimester. I love watching pregnancy videos here on YouTube, like updates and everything like that. And if you guys don't already know, my husband Matt and I have been doing a weekly pregnancy podcast. It's called The Bristows Made a Baby. It's available on iTunes and Stitcher and pretty much all the main platforms that you can find podcasts on. But we podcast every single week and we share with you like all the nitty-gritty details of how I'm feeling, what's going on in our lives, how we're preparing to have a baby. So if you want like the real details on a weekly basis, that is definitely where you can find them. But I also just kind of want to have some videos here on my channel just chatting about pregnancy and what I've experienced. And also mainly I want to make these videos because I want to share with you guys like physical items that I am loving, things that I have been using a lot and really getting a lot like just love during pregnancy, because it's kind of hard to show that through a podcast, you know? And I've actually already done a first trimester recap here on my channel, so if you guys are new or you haven't seen that one yet, you can go check that out to see how my first trimester went. It was kind of a doozy, but good news is the second trimester did get so much better. So speaking of that, let's just dive right in. So I actually didn't start feeling better until around 16 and really 17 weeks. That was when that light switch went off that everyone kept telling me was going to happen, and I just felt like myself again. My energy was back. I no longer felt sick. I no longer felt off. I just felt like my normal self again, and it was the most glorious feeling, because if you guys haven't been following along in the podcast or you haven't seen my first trimester recap video, first trimester was rough. I was really sick. I didn't throw up a ton. I definitely did throw up, but it wasn't like every single day. But I just felt like I had the flu constantly, or I was hungover, or I was just nauseous, or like sometimes a combination of all three of those at once. Most days, you know, leading up until about 17 weeks. So that was rough. But once I hit that 17-week mark, things got so much better and I was just like a normal person again, and it was so amazing. And that pretty much has lasted. I'm actually still feeling really good. My whole second trimester, once I hit that 17-week mark, absolutely was the blissful period that everyone talks about, and I am so grateful for that, because I was starting to get a little nervous that I might have been one of those like 40-week sick people, which if you're one of those ladies out there, oh my god, I give you the most respect and I look up to you so much. I don't know how you do it. Like, you're an absolute warrior, because it's really rough and it really does like wear you down over time. But anyway, so I felt great. Energy levels were great. I've had like, if you follow on the podcast, you already know, but I've had no trouble sleeping really. A couple nights here and there I'm awake in the middle of the night, but majority of the time I sleep great. I haven't had a single leg cramp. My back has not hurt at all, and like at all. I've had hardly any of the common symptoms. I've just been feeling really good, which is just like the nicest treat after the rough, you know, first 17 weeks. So that's been really great. However, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, because there has been one thing that I've been dealing with, and I've talked about this in like great lengths on the podcast, but in a nutshell, I'll just explain to you guys here. I've been having a lot of rib pain, but only on my right side, and I think it's because of two things. One, mainly, I actually have a cyst that is on my right side. It's pretty much tucked like right underneath the bottom of my rib cage on my right side. So it's just kind of taking up like precious real estate, and as this baby gets bigger and everything is moving up and up and up into like my abdomen and like up into my chest, it's just a little tight in there. So it's been causing a lot of pain. And also I learned that, I knew this, but didn't really think about it, but someone pointed it out to me. So because your liver is on your right side, out of all the organs that are in your abdomen, like your intestines and your stomach and all of that stuff, all of those things are pretty squishy and will like readily make room and get out of the way, but your liver is pretty solid and it's not very malleable. So it just kind of like, you know, it might get out of the way, but it's not going to be really squishy and make room for the baby. So I've got it's just more likely to have pain or pressure on your right side, I've learned throughout this pregnancy. But I also just like unluckily have this cyst that's also on that side, and it is pretty big. And I tried to get it, like I went to my doctor to see if I could get it either drained or like if there was anything we could do to like deal with that problem. But unfortunately, she said it would definitely have to be like surgically removed by like a plastic surgeon. And that certainly cannot happen while I'm pregnant, but it'll have to be afterwards. So I definitely will be getting that cyst cut out because it has caused me a lot of pain and discomfort. So a lot of pain still on that side. I'm actually like numb on like a big area of like where my rib cage is. I can't even feel it like on the surface. So that's interesting, but apparently totally normal because it's just like peripheral nerve stuff and not really something that I'm supposed to be worried about, I hear. But anyway, so that's been something I've been dealing with and that has not been fun, but all things considered, I mean, like it hurts right now, like it hurts all the time, but at this point, I'm honestly so used to it that, and I can kind of like massage it a little bit and that helps because it's just really tight in there and there's actually like a lot of knots. But at this point in pregnancy, I've been dealing with it every single day that I don't even notice it as much anymore. It is definitely uncomfortable. It is annoying, but when it was really starting to get painful at first, I was starting to panic about it because I was just like, how am I gonna deal with this until 40 weeks? Like this is really painful and it really bothers me. But I've just kind of gotten used to it, honestly, and it's just not as worrisome now. And I just am kind of like, yep, it is what it is. It's gonna be like that until she comes out. So whatever. So I actually have a list here on my phone of some other like categories I kind of want to touch on in this video, but I want to first say something so excited that happened in the second trimester is we found out the gender of our baby. So we actually did a like gender reveal, like a little just mini party with like very close family at my parents' house, and we did a video on it. So if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. I will let you go watch it if you don't know what we're having yet, so you can be surprised. But when you come back, I'll be right here and I'm gonna tell you right now what it is, so go watch that video if you want to be surprised. But so we found out that we were having a baby girl and that was so exciting. I was so convinced that we were having a boy. I don't know, I just was like, we're having a boy, we're definitely having a boy, there's no way it's a girl. I just can't see myself with a girl, like I just know that it's a boy. And I was clearly wrong, but it's funny because Matt was so convinced that it was a girl, so he was not that shocked. He was just really excited, and at first I was just so shocked because I just never really considered that it could be a girl. I just was convinced it was a boy. So it was a total shock, but a great shock. And I was actually kind of surprised at how quickly, I mean, I would have been excited either way. Like everyone kept asking me like, would you rather have a girl or a boy? And like, I'm not kidding when I say like, I really didn't care. I would love to have, you know, both genders someday. But I just didn't care. I was like, whatever, like either way, it's gonna be fun. We don't have any other kids, like whatever we get is gonna be a good time. But I will say that I kind of had my mindset on a boy, not because I necessarily wanted a boy, but that was just like what I was envisioning because I was so convinced it was a boy. So I was thinking like boy nursery, boy clothes, boy names, all the boy things. And when I found out I was having a girl, I was like, whoa, I just hadn't even really thought about that. But I mean, within like 5 minutes, I was just like, I'm so excited to have a girl. I started thinking about all the girl things and girl nurseries and girl names, which we still don't have a name, still a work in progress. But yeah, I was so shocked at how quickly it was just like, okay, this is what we're having, and I'm so excited. Another fun thing that we did during the second trimester was we went on our Babymoon. So we went around, I think I was around like 22 weeks. I honestly can't remember. Maybe that's pregnancy brain. But I definitely had a belly, but it was not very big, and I was pretty comfortable flying down. We went to Florida, and it was super hot, but it was so fun, and we were expecting it to be super hot, so we weren't really that surprised. But we had a great time. We laid so low. We pretty much just hung by the pool and went out to eat and got a massage, and that was like the highlights of our trip. We actually did vlog it. I will link it up above in the cards if you guys want to check it out. And you will see that's pretty much all we did. We did not do anything crazy, but it was very relaxing, and it was nice just to get away, like just the two of us, and just kind of hang out and not really do anything, not worry about work, not really worry about anything at home, just relax. And it was definitely really nice. And we kind of went back and forth on like whether or not we should go on a Babymoon, and like if we should do it, like should we go all out and spend a ton of money, or should we just do something really low key? And we kind of went like middle of the path with that, which I feel like really good about. And I think if we didn't go on a Babymoon, or at least do something like out of the ordinary, even if it was just like going down to the beach for a weekend by ourselves or something, or like during the week, I don't know, I think I would have regretted that. So I'm really glad that we went and we had a great time and it was really nice. Okay, next I want to touch on exercise and fitness because I feel like I'll probably get this question asked. I've been sharing a little bit here on Instagram and I talk about it in the podcast sometimes, but I have been remaining pretty active. I feel like pretty is the best description of what I've been doing. So I've been trying ever since I hit that like 17-week mark, and I really truly felt better. I was active even when I was feeling sick. Like I would go for walks and stuff like that. But I wasn't like super duper working out or anything like that. But once I started feeling better, I've been trying to go to the gym like twice a week, every week. And most weeks that does happen, some weeks it doesn't. But I just go to the gym. When I go to the gym, I'll just do strength training. So I will do a lot of like leg, mainly focusing on like leg and arm exercises. And I try my best to incorporate a lot of like full body moves when I'm at the gym, just to like really get my heart rate up and like really get a good workout and like try and just do, you know, strengthen all the muscle groups that I can, because I haven't been going super often. Like I don't think there's any way I could go like even 4 days a week. I think that would just be a lot on me. But 2 days a week is working great. But those are not the only days I work out. So 1 day a week, every Tuesday, I have I go to what is called a like pelvic floor class. And I've talked about this a lot on the podcast, but it is seriously so awesome, you guys. I've talked about it briefly here on like some what I eat in a day stuff and stuff like that too. But if you guys don't know, it's a class I go to. It's actually at a yoga studio, but it's not really a yoga class. And it's taught by a physical therapist that specializes in women's health. So pretty much everything from like abs down to the vagina, like all of that area, the pelvis and everything, like that's the area that they are specialized in. And she is awesome. I have learned so much from that class. So we do pretty much, it's like over an hour, and we are, you know, moving most of the time. We do a lot of hip stabilizing exercises and do just a lot of things that work our hips, because whenever you're working your hips, I learned from her, you're also engaging your pelvic floor automatically. So we don't really do a whole lot of Kegels. Every once in a while she might have us do some. Like I thought we would be doing like 1,000 Kegels in this class, but we really don't. We kind of just like work other muscle groups that also engage the pelvic floor. And the reason you want to have a strong pelvic floor is because most women, some have like overactive pelvic floors, but that's where they're really tight, but that's not very common. It's usually the other way around. And we have weak pelvic floors. So the problem with that is if your pelvic floor is stronger, it can definitely help during birth, but also especially afterwards for postpartum, everything gets like, you know, stretched out and messed up, and it's just like kind of a battle zone down there for a little while. But as you're healing, if you have a strong, intact pelvic floor, it can really make a huge difference. Like I learned from her, it's really not normal at all, although it's so common that it seems normal now to, like, if you cough or sneeze, to pee a little bit. That's not normal, actually. That means your pelvic floor is actually really weak. I didn't know that. I just thought that like came with the territory of like once you have a baby, that just happens. But the class is just awesome. I can seriously go on about it forever. I would highly recommend, if you are pregnant or a new mom or you've had a bunch of kids or whatever, and you know, want to work on your pelvic floor, go try and find a physical therapist that specializes in women's health. That is apparently a thing. Again, I didn't know that before I found this class. My midwife told me about this class and that's why I started going. But it's so awesome. They're super knowledgeable, and I have learned so much, not only about like, you know, working my pelvic floor, but also she teaches us all these little things, stretches to do during postpartum, and just like little things that I would have never thought about. Like, you know, we're gonna be doing a lot of like fine motor skills, doing a lot of buttons and fastening a lot of like little things on babies and changing diapers and like all these little tiny movements that our hands don't typically do when we don't have kids, and just stretches to do during postpartum to keep our wrists and our hands like open and loose, and you know, it's just like super interesting. So that is like exercise 3 days a week. And then other than that, I've just been trying to walk. I was way better about walking in like the first trimester and like while I wasn't feeling great, because that was like pretty much all I could do. But now that I'm able to be a lot more active, I feel like walking has kind of, I just don't do it as often, but I should be. So I'll try and go out for walks by myself, just like brisk walks, like just for exercise, or I always try and join Matt when he takes Rosie for walks. Like I mean, once a day would be great. I don't go every single day, but I do just try, and anything I can do to remain active really is just like, I'm down to do it. My whole goal with exercise during pregnancy was just to stay as active as I can so that I can feel good, but not necessarily like break any records here or like build muscle. I just want to try and like maintain any kind of strength as best I can that I had before, and just try and remain active. And I feel like a lot of times during, you know, pregnancy, we have this like expectation, or it's like common just to be like, well, this is my time to relax, so I'm just gonna like kick back and not do anything. Which, like, hey, if that's what you're doing, like, I ain't judging you for doing that. But I will say, I think that if I just kind of like gave up on working out for the time being just because, I think I would honestly feel way worse. Like, I think the reason I'm feeling so good has a lot to do with that pelvic floor class and just like posture and making sure I'm being careful about like where my weight is, so I'm not like putting pressure on certain joints and my back and things like that. But I think honestly I feel so good because I have remained active, and I think that if I was just kind of laying around a lot more, I would feel more sluggish and tired, and I think I would have a lot more aches and pains. So I've definitely had a good experience with being active and while pregnant, and I will, you know, definitely would want to encourage you guys to, if you can, it can be hard, and a lot of people have been a lot more sicker than I have, but if you can, like, just do it, because it really does make you feel better. Okay, I feel like another really common thing to go over is stretch marks. So far, I have not gotten any stretch marks on my stomach anywhere, which is great, but I do have stretch marks on my boobs, which those popped up like real early, and I'm assuming they're stretch marks because they're like dark purple lines, and they're kind of like on the underside of my boobs, but it's weird because they change. Like, some days they're longer and sometimes they're in different spots. Some days they're much shorter and lighter, so like, I don't really know what's going on with that. I guess they're stretch marks, but I was under the impression that stretch marks showed up and then like didn't change unless they eventually fade. So I don't really know what that is, but I think I have them. Also, cravings is always another frequently asked question, I feel like. So as far as cravings go, honestly, they have totally diminished. My cravings were so much stronger in the first trimester, and I really wanted a lot of like spicy, tangy, like vinegary foods. So anything with hot sauce, anything with like salsa, or did I say hot sauce? I had said hot sauce. Pickles, salt and vinegar chips, like Old Bay chips, like all of that stuff that's like really tangy and savory, I loved. And that kind of still has been around the second trimester, not much. But really the only thing I like crave is fruit, which is a great craving to have, and like fresh stuff. So like every once in a while I just want a salad. And like, don't get me wrong, like I still eat pizza, like I have ice cream, like I'm not like eating, you know, this perfect diet by any means, but I don't really like crave those foods. The only like strong craving so far I've had in the second trimester where I was like, I need to have this, and I couldn't get my mind off of it, so random, but it was pumpkin bread. Specifically pumpkin bread with like cream cheese icing. Oh my gosh, I could not get that out of my mind. So I was like too lazy to go like to the store and buy it, so I ended up like not having any for a while, and then finally I was like, a couple days later, I was just like, I need this pumpkin bread. So I just made some homemade, and it was actually delicious. It did not have cream cheese icing, but it was great and fantastic, and I enjoyed every last bite. Okay, now I'm gonna move on and share with you guys all of the things that I've just been using on like a daily or very regular basis throughout this pregnancy, and I'm just obsessed with and would totally recommend. So first things first is this very interesting looking jar. So there's actually tea in here. It's just loose tea, and this is red raspberry leaf tea. I've been drinking this almost every single day, like 1 cup, and now that I'm in the second trimester, I'm gonna try and up it, see if I can drink even more, or just make big batches of it, because that's even easier. But the reason I've been drinking this, once I got into the second trimester, it's not really recommended that you drink it in the first trimester, but the reason that it is so highly recommended for pregnant women is because it's actually, red raspberry leaf is like a uterine tonic. So it can actually help literally tone your uterus if you are drinking it regularly over time. And I've just seen so many, you know, either videos or read blog posts, or all anecdotal stuff, but just, you know, moms talking about how, you know, if they've had, you know, had a pregnancy and a delivery, didn't drink any red raspberry leaf tea, and then they ended up drinking it in a subsequent pregnancy, and they physically noticed a difference in like the strength and like productivity, I guess, of their contractions. Like they were just so much more productive, and they felt like their labor was just more efficient, and that this is something that they attributed that to. So I thought that was amazing. If you guys don't already know, I'm planning on having a natural, drug-free, intervention-free birth at a birth center. So I need all the help I can get with making things efficient to get this baby out in, you know, as fast as possible. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the belly butter that I have been using. I put this all over my belly, boobs, hips, and even like a little bit on my butt every single night before I go to bed. And then sometimes I apply it to my belly like also a second time during the day. I try, I'm not the best at that, but I do get it on once a day no matter what. And I actually make it myself. So if you guys are new, or you like are new to following me or whatever, I'm someone who's like really picky about products. I'm like really into using like non-toxic products, nothing with weird chemicals, nothing, absolutely nothing with fragrance, because that is just something that is important to me, and I've noticed a huge difference in my body when I've gotten rid of all that stuff from my life. So I make my own. It's just in this is actually just like a little mini coconut oil jar. It's not like an actual product. So as you can see, it's just coconut oil. In there, it's 4 ounces, and I actually add essential oils to it from Young Living. So I add, and if you go, I have an oily, like a separate oily Instagram. It's called Clove and Arrow Essentials, and in like one of the highlights, I show how I make it. It's like in the DIYs. But it is just frankincense, gentle baby, and lavender essential oil, and I just put a few drops of that. I mix it up. It's like super cheap because I already have all the ingredients, and I can just remake it super easily, and I don't have to worry about like ordering a new one or anything like that. And when I was looking, just out of curiosity, to try and find like a truly non-toxic belly butter that didn't have any fragrance or anything like that, even the ones that are like super natural, most of the time they still have fragrance, which is still chemicals, guys, unfortunately. And they were expensive. They were like at least 30 bucks a pop, and for like 4 ounces, which doesn't last that long, especially if you use it pretty liberally like I do. So this is definitely like a cheaper route for me because I already have the oils and I use them for lots of other things too. So, and coconut oil is cheap and amazing for skin. So this is what I've been using for a belly butter. Okay, next I want to get into some clothing items. So I'm super excited to share some of these finds with you guys. So first things first, big old comfortable granny bra, essentially. So this is actually a nursing bra. Once I started, my boobs started getting big, like bigger in the first trimester, and then especially once I got into the second, I was like, okay, it's time for me to like upgrade as far as getting more comfortable bras, and just like something that's a little more supportive. So because I would pretty much only wear like bralettes and bandeaus and things like that, because that's just what I prefer. I hate underwire. So I've actually tried some of like the high-end maternity bras, and you guys, I'm telling you, this is where it's at. This bra came in a pack of 3 off of Amazon. I will link them down below. I will try and link everything that I can down below. And it is so freaking comfortable. It's like butter, and they're so cheap. I think it's like 20, maybe like 25 bucks for a pack of 3. It came with a black one, a nude one, which I'm wearing right now, and then also like a light pink one. And they're so comfortable. And obviously, like, I don't need nursing bras now. Like, I'm not nursing. But I, you know, plan to. I very much hope to breastfeed. So I was kind of like, well, if I'm going to get, like, bras, it might as well just be ones that are nursing friendly so I can continue to wear them once the baby is here. And I don't think, like, these are very... like, I don't think I'm gonna like outgrow these because I've got plenty of room. I actually got a size large, so I would soon be able to still wear them after the baby, but who knows. Okay, this next thing, I actually was asking you guys in my first trimester recap to recommend all of your favorite pregnancy like friendly leggings, because I knew I was gonna be living in them. And before, like in my first trimester, I was still wearing my Lululemon Align leggings. And I decided to just get the same old Align leggings and just actually go up a couple sizes. And that was such a great decision. So if you don't know about Lululemon leggings, you guys, like, they are worth every freaking penny. There's not many things in this world that I am like all for the high-end version. But when it comes to leggings, Lululemon all the way. I will happily pay $100 for these all day because they are freaking worth it. So the Aligns they come up really high, so you can see like they're pretty high-waisted. They don't come up all the way over my belly like a lot of specific pregnancy ones do, but that doesn't bother me. I find them really comfortable. I did go up 2 sizes. A lot of people said go up 1 size in the Aligns, and I actually went to the store and tried them on, and I was so much more comfortable with the 2 sizes up. I just like to be comfortable. So I'm in my 3rd trimester now. My belly's getting real big, which I will show you at the end, and they still fit fine. I am super comfortable in them. They are so thin and like buttery, and they are just so comfortable, and they're not see-through, and they just wear really nicely, and they're amazing quality, and they're gonna last well through this pregnancy. I'm sure I will live in them afterwards, so definitely a really good purchase, and I'm glad I just went with the Aligns. So yeah, love those. Okay, next I want to share with you guys actually a pair of sandals. So I was asking on my Instagram, this was a couple months ago now, right before we went on our Babymoon, I was like, I need some recommendations for cute, simple sandals that I can wear with like dresses and stuff like that, that have a lot of support. So I was just like rocking these little Steve Madden like nude flip-flops that literally are like thin as paper. There's nothing to them. They have no support, and my feet were like killing me. So it was time to upgrade to something that had a little more support because, you know, I need it. So I asked you guys, and so many of you were like Birkenstocks, 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 and nothing against Birkenstocks. They're not like totally my style, but like if they're super comfortable, like I would have, you know, hey. But I needed something that was a little more dressy. Like I have a pair of Rainbows that I've worn religiously throughout this whole summer of being pregnant, and they're like the double ones on the bottom, so they're very supportive. And like I'll wear those with like jean shorts and a t-shirt, and like I would also wear Birkenstocks with like jean shorts and a t-shirt. The kind of dresses that I like to wear, Birkenstocks just, in my opinion, with my style, what I like to wear, they would not go with that. So that was just not really an option for me. But you guys, I came across what are called fit flops, and they are perfect. So this is exactly what I wanted. I just wanted like a simple thong pair of sandals that like were either like a neutral color, like nude. These are just like a light, kind of like a pale gold, and they're so simple, so pretty. And then as you can see, like the actual sole is pretty thick, and like on the heel it's pretty squishy, and it just has like a lot of support, and they do break in pretty nicely. So I would highly recommend these for any expecting mom, or if you already have kids and you just, or maybe if you're older and you just want something that has some like good support but also like still looks normal, like any sandal you would see in like Nordstrom or whatever. These are great, and they're a little pricey. Like I think they were around $100, but I just needed the one pair, and I mean, like, these are great quality. These are definitely going to last me a really long time. So I just wanted to let you guys know about these, because if you're pregnant and you're pregnant in summer where it's warm all the time, or through the summer like me, these are awesome. Okay, just a couple more things I want to share. I know this video is getting super long, but clothing wise, so before getting pregnant, I literally never owned, except for like college, but that's a whole different time of life. I like never owned a single bodycon anything. I did not like wearing tight stuff. I was all about like, I just like loose fitting clothing. Like that's just my jam, because I like to be comfortable and I don't like to be in tight clothing. But that has totally changed. I am the exact opposite while pregnant, because tight stuff is so much more flattering. If you're wearing big, loose, baggy stuff, you just look 10 times bigger than you really are, and it's fun to show off the bump. Like it's so cute to have a bump, and I love to show it off. I think it's so much fun, and I just enjoy it. So I've been actually wearing a lot of, not a lot, but I've picked up a couple of like bodycon dresses that I'm obsessed with. So this first one is my favorite. It's just like kind of like a tank at the top, and then you can see it kind of has ruching all along this one side, and then the other side is just straight down, and it goes down to like just above the knee. I'm like 5'5", for reference, and I just got it in this heather gray color because it's a neutral. So this is from Nordstrom. The brand is Leith, and I size up to a medium, and it's been perfect. It still fits great. I think this will absolutely fit all the way through like the fall, because of the ruching, there's a lot of like room for your belly to kind of like pop out in this dress, and it's so flattering on. It looks so cute. I think it's like 55 bucks or something like that, which for like a little jersey dress is kind of like, it seems like a lot, but you guys, I'm telling you, worth every penny. I kind of want them in like a million colors, but I'm gonna like try and resist. I might get like one more for the fall because I wore this all summer, like literally so many times this summer. I would just throw it on with like a pair of sandals and walk out the door. But moving into the fall, I think this would be super cute with like a long cardigan and like some high, you know, boots with like socks peeking out or something like that. Like these will still wear really nicely into the fall. So I think I might pick up another color, but I absolutely love that dress. That's been like my favorite fitted pregnancy dress. And then I also just wanted to mention these because I also picked these up. These are much more basic. They're just like little ribbed tank dresses. I have this like army green color, and then I also have this like kind of black and gray, or black and white, I guess, stripe. So these are just straight down, no ruching, just like little mini tank dresses. And these are from Urban Outfitters, which I will link down below if they're still available. And let's see, I also sized up to a medium for these, but honestly, I could have gone for a large. Like these are small. Like I would not be a medium not pregnant, but honestly I could have sized up to a large. Like they are small and they are tight and they are pretty short, so just keep that in mind if this is something you want to grab. But again, like I could still wear these in the fall with like boots and a long cardigan and like a scarf. Like these are totally still going to be something that I can wear and get a lot of use out of, and they weren't too expensive. I think they were like, I don't know, $20 or $30 or something like that, nothing crazy. Okay, and then just one more thing I wanted to share. I talked about this in my first trimester video too, but I wanted to share it again because I have another one to share, and it's just something that I cannot live without, and that is water bottles. So this one is a Yeti. It's like an 18 ounce. I showed this in my first trimester video. And then this guy I absolutely love too. I got this off of Amazon. You guys, this is such a good find. The brand is, I think it's like Simply Modern. I will link it down below, but this is a 32 ounce tumbler, I think. And I swear it keeps it just as cold as this like $40 Yeti. And I think this was like $11 or something, like significantly less expensive, and it works just as well in my opinion. And then I just got these stainless steel straws because it's like a tumbler top, like a, you know, that you would drink like hot drinks out of. But I would do ice cold water because for many weeks there, all I wanted was just absolutely freezing ice cold water. That was just like something that that was the only way that I could drink water. I was just craving it being really cold, so I would fill this up with ice, and it was just glorious, especially through the hot summer months. So I love this. Also love the Yeti. I still have been drinking out of this a lot too, but having reusable water bottles is key because you need to be drinking a lot of water when you're pregnant, and you're also just really thirsty all the time. So having these are great, and I would totally recommend this Amazon one because it's like the bomb. Okay, so that is it for all the products I'm loving. Pretty much all normal things. Nothing was even like a maternity item, I guess, except for like that nursing bra. But I'm sure as we move into the third trimester, I will start to get more pregnancy specific things, like to help with, you know, the growing belly, and I'm sure I'll have other things to recommend to you guys as we move into that phase. And it's crazy to think that when I'm doing that video, I'll be like almost completely done being pregnant, which is crazy. But I wanted to share with you guys the bump. If you go back and watch my first trimester update, the difference is pretty crazy. I have absolutely popped. I popped for sure around like 22, 23 weeks, and it just keeps getting bigger ever since then. So I will show you guys now. Okay, so here is the belly from the front. It is getting really big. Belly button has not popped yet, but it is literally losing volume every single week. So I'm sure that's not too far off. But this is what it looks like from the front. My skin is definitely a lot tighter, and it has been a little bit itchy, but I'm just doing everything I can not to actually scratch and just to moisturize with that belly butter I showed you guys, because I hear that that can cause stretch marks. So I've been trying to be really good about that. And then from the side, this is what it looks like. So it is definitely pretty big. There's a baby in there for sure. Oh, I forgot to mention, I do have these two little dots right here, which are new. I think they might be like stretch mark-esque, but I'm not really sure because they're just dots. But I think that's what that is. But comes to the territory, right? So who really cares? But yeah, so there is my big ol' pregnancy belly. But that is it for my second trimester update and recap. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one, but you know, I love a long pregnancy video. Like, give me all the suggestions. I want all the details. I want to know everything. But if you really truly want all the details, definitely go follow us on or subscribe to our podcast, The Bristows Made a Baby. We have so much fun just chatting about this pregnancy week by week and just sharing what's happening in our lives. And it's just been such a blast. And I know a lot of you guys are following along and have been loving it too, so that's awesome. But make sure to subscribe. I will have, now that we're in the third trimester, I will have some more baby videos coming out. I haven't really done much pregnancy videos at all, but I've done a video on my pregnancy supplements, everything that I'm taking, and I will definitely have some more videos to come. So make sure to subscribe, and of course follow me on Instagram at Becca Bristow so we can hang out on there. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Find table space to say your social grace.